Hi, gorgeous. Welcome. Olga's here, and this is day 4 of the Tapping Forgiveness Challenge. I'm so excited about today's video because we're going to be talking about forgiving parents. And this is such a huge concept, and honestly, one of the biggest blocks when you're trying to manifest better abundance, more money in your life, or relationships. Because everything that we know about these two core needs or core desires of ourselves do come from our parents. As we grow up, these little kids, we have billions and trillions of memories that form how we see things through this perspective. And going back and doing some forgiveness work around your parents really changes a lot of things because you don't have a need to please them. You don't have a need to reconnect with them in a healthy way, which you probably heard that we marry one of our parents, right? Usually the one that we need to make peace with. And so really doing this inner work, releasing the negative emotions around people who raised you changes a lot of things in your life. So one thing that I want you to take out of today's video, there will be one thing that you learn and take out would be this. Your parents did love you, and they loved you the best way they knew how. Now, maybe they abused you, maybe they cursed at you, maybe they disrespected you, maybe they told you many times that you weren't good enough, or nothing, no matter what you did, it wasn't good enough. They did love you. And I know it sounds bizarre and it doesn't make sense, but here's the truth. Somebody loved them just like that. Somebody treated them just like that. So they have learned ways to interact and ways to express their feelings and emotions this way. Also, do know that we are coming from different generation. Now, that generation, they had very little to no tools to work with their emotional states. So when people got angry or upset or they feel guilty or trapped, very often they would turn to unhealthy ways to process it, which is alcohol or things that are worse. And I'm not saying that it's a good or bad thing. What I am trying to communicate with you guys, and of course we'll tap on it because there are usually a whole lot of feelings and things coming up in this moment, is they have done the best they could with what they knew, right? And if you are really having a hard time to shift these things, do reach out to me. I do offer private sessions. I'll help you out with this. I just worked with a client and things with, sexual and emotional abuse and all kind of things came up. And we have done the forgiveness work, which she had felt differently about her dad. So all of these things are curable and healable, and they can be released. And the beauty of this work is that you really are starting to love yourself differently, because you always and only love yourself the way that you were loved, love yourself the way you practiced. So here's something interesting. I talked to my mom a couple of days ago on Sunday morning. Every Sunday morning I call my mom. So I talked to her and I said, something happened and somebody did something wrong with me, and I ready to share that story yet. And she turned around and she said, how could you do this? And I was like, wait a minute, I didn't do anything. And she said, no, 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 no. And I realized so clearly how this pattern of guilt, even when we are not guilty, just being installed. And this amazing realization just really struck me, like, Mom, listen to yourself. Do you realize that I actually have not done anything wrong here? And she stopped for a second. She said, you know what, you're right. And so our parents, they have certain ways to perceive reality. And the part of that reality, they'll perceive us. Now, what we'll do, especially little kids, they'll make an assumption that this is who we are and this is how we are, when it could be nothing that's further away from the reality. They could have had a bad day or a year. And so here's you there growing up, right? And trying to figure out ways. So we learn anger, we learn guilt, we learn all of these patterns from people who raise us. And going back to these memories and healing and releasing them really create big shift in the way how you perceive reality. So one of the work that I do with my clients, especially the ones who work with me for 3 to 6 months, we always, one of the sessions or a couple of sessions, we dedicate specifically to healing that, which is relationship with your mom and dad, because that is support, and support is money. So how you feel about your parents is very often how you feel about money. Those things are so tightly connected. So what I'd love for you to do, guys, is to think about a parent that you'd like to make peace with. Or maybe if you don't have a parent, maybe you have a sibling or a grandparent or an aunt or somebody that you'd like to do some work around. And we'll go ahead and do some tapping. Before I start tapping, there's one more thing that I'm going to throw out there. If you're getting triggered by your parent, the chances are you're just like them. Oh, you're still gonna hate me and turn off this video right now, but chew on this, you are just like them. And of course, a lot of people say, no, 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 I'm nothing like them. And then of course, you know, I did this and I was chatting with a practitioner. So you're just like your mom. I was like, no, I'm not like my mom. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm just like my mom. Because I was repeating some of the victim mentality on a different level, on a higher, more sophisticated level. But it's nevertheless was a victim mentality that I was stuck in. And I was coming through so gorgeously when subconscious was becoming conscious and I was resisting it, right? So notice any triggers are just opportunity to heal. I'm gonna say it one more time. Any trigger is just an opportunity to heal. So if they are doing it to you, you say, thank you, good stuff. It's my opportunity to heal. So let's go to some triggers and pick the juicy ones. And we'll just do a quick round of tapping on the forgiving of the parents. And just close your eyes and just drop the shoulders. And think about the person, bringing him or her into your kind of like visual existence. And as you do so, just tap between your eyes and say, this feeling, the emotions, all the ways they treated me, things that they said, these memories, what I've believed, what I have learned from them, the anger, the resentment, guilt, hopelessness and helplessness, not good enough, and any other patterns of emotions. It's safe to let it go. They loved me the best way they knew how. They really did love me. Now, it might not be the best type of love or the one that I'm ready for now, but it's all that they knew at that time. So that's all what they could give me. Nobody can love you more than they love themselves. Nobody can love you more than they love themselves. So that's how my parents loved themselves. That's how they treated themselves. Every single word that came out of their mouth was about them, not me. Now, I've made an assumption and it has something to do with me. I've made some conclusions at that point, and it's safe to let it go. It's my time to clear it. It's safe for me to decide how I want to love myself. And based on that, everybody will love me too. The second I fall in love with myself, the whole world will fall in love with me. And that changes my relationship with money because it makes me feel worthy and abundant. And I'm ready for that. It's my time and I'm ready for the next step. Gorgeous job. Go ahead. Wrap your wrists. Breathe in. Breathe out. Fantastic job. Make sure to combine, say hi in our emotional resilient group. There's an amazing discussion happens. I would love, love, love to hear your insights. Any questions, also let me know. I'll be doing Facebook Lives on my page. Be more than happy to answer any cues that are coming up. You're doing amazing. You got it. Love yourself. And I'll see you tomorrow in day 5, how to forgive yourself. Bye.